What is up, Art of Effortless Attraction? David here, and want to do a quick video for you guys before I jump on a coaching call with some clients in a few minutes. So want to talk about how much does age really matter? And this came up because I was doing a breakthrough call, helping out a guy the other day, and it came up that as we were talking through stuff, how he mentioned that in his experience that age matters a lot more in a place like America than it does in Europe or in other parts of the world. And I really listened to that and took that in and thought about that, okay? And how, you know, we're up against so much as guys when it comes to dating, mating, attraction with beautiful women, right? Women that you consider beautiful, and then of course there are women that everyone considers beautiful, and there's a range in there, but we're generally talking about that. And of course we want women of quality and character and all that as well. But we're up against so many things, right? We're up against, you know, more than ever, things of how society judges men for various reasons and what it is to be masculine and male. All these kind of conversations are going on all over the place. Culturally, politically, all kinds of stuff, right? And roles, men's and women's roles are being, you know, reinvented and questioned and revamped and all kinds of stuff, right? And so when it comes to this age thing though, right? And me, I'm 42 and I prefer, well, actually, I'll get into that, but I mean, I like younger women. I like to date and sleep with and see younger women, and I like being single and all that, right? But I'm also realized that I too can be ageist towards attractive older women who could be older than me or close to my age or whatever. Now, ultimately, it doesn't matter. It's whatever you like, right? That's what matters. But, you know, what I find is that we have this cultural conditioning that's certainly at play, right? I believe that exists. I believe this guy's right, and I've noticed that too. And it really doesn't matter ultimately, even though Europe is going to be more accepting and open-minded versus us. Now, this guy also spoke 5 languages, lived in Europe, traveled back and forth, very international type of guy, right? Really. And, you know, I get that vibe because I lived in New York and I picked up on that vibe too. And I also felt like in a bigger city that like New York, it mattered less than it seemed to, even though Denver is, I mean, it's a big-ish city. It's not as big as New York. But here's the bottom line, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it, how you see it. Because I also hear, when I talk to a lot of guys saying, oh, that girl's in their 20s, I'm not interested in that, it's too young. And I get where they're coming from, but I also think that there can be some ageism going on there, because there could be a more mature, psychologically 20-something woman that's certainly more mature than a 30, 40-something-year-old woman or 50 or whatever. Like, that exists for real. And we create our own problem so let's say that is generally true, which I agree that there's more status judgment and stuff about success and money that matters in a place like America than it does in a lot of other European countries, right? However, and this is where the cutting through the matrix part comes in this video, is that the more that we don't give a crap what the cultural standard is and we create our own standard, that comes out in our vibe, and then we get drawn to that, and that gets drawn to us like a moth to a flame, whatever that result is, dating younger women and all that, right? And it's when like a group of women could be talking, going, oh, there's older guys, this and that. But you come up and you have this certain vibe, and then all that goes out the water. He's different. He's the exception to the rule, right? And that's what this group is about, by the way. This group is about being the exception to the rule when it comes to attraction, dating, mating, loving, relationshiping with women. If like we look at a bell curve of society and all the main points of the curve are in here, we want to be on the fringe. Just like that video I shared about why women are attracted to fuckboys, which is hilarious delivery by that guy. the pinnacle guy, which is like a few dots, that's what I aim for. Those are the kinds of guys that I want to be able to help and to go on the journey with me and go on the journey with you, right? It's about being that exception to the rule, the rare thing, which are those people that create their own life despite what society wants, okay? And I mean, to me, that's just a lot more interesting life. It's a tougher road. It's not the easier one. It's not made for everybody, right? It's easier to conform, right? And I have to struggle with this and still struggle with this stuff in my own programming, right? Having upgraded lots of my programming, continue to upgrade my own mind programming. But this stuff works with your vibe. It really, really fucking works. And you have to clean out your own garbage, right? Or not buy into the BS of mainstream society. And here's the thing, too, you also can't resist it. If you get angry about it, if you get resentful about it. And so in spite of isn't really the proper term. It's sort of like going along with or sort of acknowledging that it's there, but like navigating around it, like in the Matrix, right? That's why the Matrix is such an amazing movie. Because when Neo is in the Matrix, or all those people are in the Matrix, actually in it, and they know that it's all an illusion and they're navigating it, they're not going around being pissed off, but they're working, you know, with it, but on higher levels, because they know what the general rules are and they know how to bend and break those rules, right? And that's what we're talking about here. So when it comes to age, you got to take a look at your own beliefs and how much you're buying into the mainstream shit or stuff that you're making up because you are afraid of something, or you know what I mean? And I'm saying that if you're in your 40s or 50s and you don't want to date, and truly don't want to date 20-something women or 30-something women or whatever that is, fine. But realize that you could be conforming to societal standard that says that's not okay. I mean, I've had a female friend who is ragging on me for being attracted to younger women, right? She's older than me. When she has slept with and dated guys almost 20 years her former. Now, what's going on there is she has a very strong sense of reality. And when I said, whoa, wait a second, what you're doing is more standard now, but it wasn't standard in the past. What are you talking about? And she was making it like being an older guy dating younger women was wrong because her reality was so strong. And I was like, the fuck are you talking about? And then she was like, oh, right? I think there's some attraction stuff going on there too. She would kind of poo-poo other women around so she could get my attention, the attention of other men, but that's another dynamic for another video. But how much age really matters is how much it matters to you, right? That's what happens. So if your mind dials in on, well, my age matters, my age matters, my age matters, all of a sudden in your conversations, guess what's going to happen? Women will start asking how old you are. And then you'll respond defensively. And you'll, that's how it works. It's really how it works. That's how you cut through, right, the matrix of standard cultural societal belief. And there is a dynamic that exists. But if you buy into what the norm is, then you also conform to the norm and you don't stand out. And that there are many ways to stand out in your vibe, and that's what you've got to personally create for yourself, right? It is based on what you value and, you know, your character and stuff as well. I'm not saying throw that out the window, you know, for what's important to you. But if something like age keeps coming up, you have to take a look at, well, how am I focusing in on that? How am I creating that situation over and over? It's like, why are all these women coming up to me and asking me my age and blah, blah, blah? Well, if it's happening over and over again, guess who the common denominator is? You are. You are. And then you can give me all the excuses about, well, you know, yeah, but it's just because I'm older and this and that. Boom. Then that reality locks in, and that's what you see over and over and over and over and over, right? And you can't be the exception to the rule. And it's better to be the exception to the rule. And because women are so emotionally attracted, right, based on emotion, that's where all their rules will get thrown out the fucking window when the guy with the right vibe shows up that smashes all those rules, who doesn't give a crap about the rules, right? And it's not about being disrespectful or a bad boy jerk or any of that, right? You can still be a good, compassionate human being and be like, well, those rules don't apply to me, right? So this went a lot longer than I wanted, but I want to hear your comments on age and how much you feel it gets in the way, how much it matters, the hurdles of it, if you think it's an advantage because you do realize that you being an exception, you think about it as an exception to the rule type of thing. I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below and have some discussion. And so we can get more value out of this group, right? You guys can help each other out and we can get the conversation going, all right? And so that's it. I got to get running to a call here in a few minutes, and we will talk to you later. See ya.